Hey, welcome to the next edition of Veterans Rant, Rattle and Roll. I'm Sergeant First Class Retired David L. Parker, and I am ecstatic that you're here. We are going over a bunch of journals that I wrote that cover a book that I wrote called Forgotten Truckers. I can't seem to get my rhythm going this morning. Sort of like one of those mornings you wake up at 4 o'clock and you got to be a PT at 5:30, but you can't get out of the house till 5:35 because you can't find your car keys or your brain. Well, here I am. All right, so this is episode 9. So over the last 9 weeks, we have gone from volunteering at Fort Drum, New York, in Bravo Company 431 Infantry, to leaving Fort Drum and going to Fort Bliss, Texas, which was an amazingly weird training place, to Kuwait with some folks, to all the way to Baghdad, as truckers, doing our own thing. If you've been with me for the last 9 weeks, you know what I'm talking about. All the way now to Mosul. Now, those guys that I drove those trucks with, they are still with us. They are picked up by 2nd Brigade of the 101st. They're being well taken care of. So the journals from here on out are basically talking about the missions that, from my perception, being with Bravo Company 3rd to 502nd of the 2nd Brigade of the 101st, in Mosul now, and what we did for the next few weeks, and then on into ending of the mission, which will end in a strange way. So we're going to pick this up on April 27th, and we're going to start going faster and farther each week than before, because that's just the way it's going to work. All right? So you're saying to yourself, what is wrong with him today? And I'm saying to you, what is right with me today? One may never know. So I'm just taking a look at something in the book here. We're going to fly pretty fast, all right? So we're on April 26th. Whoops, I lost it. Bear with me for a minute. April 26th, we're up in Mosul. Been driving around the gator without proper anything. Sort of not smart, but what is smart about the infantry when we think we can do whatever we want? Oh, how I miss the infantry. I don't know if you know this, but my story is, in my 16th year in my career, due to injury, I was reclassed from 11 Bravo to 88 November. So my vision, my view, my point of reference for the military completely changed. I went from a company level platoon sergeant / S3 NCO, those were basically my jobs, to a brigade and division level staff puke. I say that with all due respect. I'm just being funny about it, all right? I worked with a lot of full bird colonels and generals and did a lot of interesting things. So my career really changed. So that's why it's a lot of times when we're talking together on this, I give you some different viewpoints, me as a pissed off old E5, me as an E7 platoon sergeant, and then later on as a staff NCO. And I was even given the privilege and the honor of sitting in the first sergeant chair a couple of times, Lima 2 STB, 4th Infantry Division, a couple of times sitting in that chair, which was awesome. No, I did not pin on E8. I did not make E8. I'm a retired E7. I just happened to be lucky enough, if you will, to be promoted, picked to sit in the chair. And I thank now General Jones for that opportunity. All right, let's go. April 27th, we're in Mosul, right? I'm just going to read you the entries and we're going to talk. Entry. It's very cold and rainy today. Went to the BSA to pick up a second Humvee and then bring it back to the dog pound. The name of that place was like 27 different names. You got Camp Zed, you got this, you got that other thing. Decided to get some money from the pay call. Just took 150. Wasn't very good. Decided to lay down. Now, that's what happens when you don't turn off your phone. You get a beep. So, you know what? People are texting me, and that's just funny right there. Now, the funny thing is, will I not edit this out? All right, sorry about that. Took $150, wasn't feeling very good, decided to lay down for a good nap after lunch. And I have a picture of this swampy mess that Camp Zed turned into. If you've been to Iraq, rain in Iraq is entertaining. They left me alone, so I slept till 1800 and had to get up and do radio watch until 2100. Then I was put on the weirdest detail I've ever been on. I was one of the soldiers that picked to overwatch the burning of a body that was in one of the buildings. So we decided we should burn. So we've decided we should burn unclaimed bodies. I had to stand there and watch a body burn and put an image in my head. I sat on the catwalk above the burning body, decided I was hungry, so I ate an MRE. I believe I am now officially warped. Still, be a cold night, I'll be in my sleeping bag for sure. XO woke me up at 0500, told me to pack an overnight bag, which is a funny comment in the Army. Truly. We were going to go back to the battalion to turn in awards in a way for them to be assigned, and we get some sleep there, end of entry. Now, you know what? Being a buck sergeant, getting picked for these kind of details was not uncommon. I mean, especially when you're a detail. I was a truck driver. I was a casualty replacement was the technical term for what we're doing. All right, jump to April 28th. Sleep there not. 13 hours of typing awards. Totally exhausted. Back is killing me. Butt hurts really bad from sitting all night long working on these awards. End of entry. Yeah, again, that's not uncommon. Especially at this point in the combat, Afghanistan, Iraq. How I put this, as straightforward as I can. People are award hungry right now. We used to call them metal monsters. They were looking for anything they could to put on their chest. They didn't care what it was, and they were trying to give everybody in the world an award for nothing, just so they could have one, right? And here I am. I'm a detail. I'm not even officially part of Bravo 3rd to 502nd. I mean, I was, but I wasn't. And my monkey butt is in the headquarter platoon, so I am typing up awards all night long because somebody in S1 didn't like the way they were written the first time. For people I barely even know. No big deal. That's just the Army. Back to the entries. 1400, back to the compound. You can go to sleep. Holy hell. Widowmaker 6 just called, said all the awards we did are wrong. Once all the people who wrote them back, the tiny headquarters to do it again. Not sure when we're leaving. Laid down, grab a quick nap. 1900, woke up because my back was hurting and just told the awards are here. They say we messed them all up. We did exactly what the captain told us to do. And we even checked many of the 638s telling us they were done correctly. Now they're all wrong. I have to admit I'm pretty pissed off. It's taken my military discipline to keep my mouth shut. Now, I'm going to stop right there, okay? Think about this. So we get detailed. We go to battalion headquarters. This is Mosul. It's a freaking combat zone. And we're stuck in this, one of Saddam's palaces. So, it's nice. It's nice. It's lavish, right? And we were all night long, me and a couple other guys, write up these 638s. That's the form for an award. And the S1 captain, who's got us there doing it, because the captain said these are wrong, had us write them this way, and now somebody's saying they're wrong, and we got to do it again. Welcome to the Army. Next entry. The commander and the XO are saying forget about it, we'll fix them, which means me and Big E will fix them, right? That's a guy in the unit. They don't like the way we've written up the awards. They say that that's not how the mission went. I asked the LT, how do you know that's not how it went? He said, because that's not what we're being told in battalion. Again, another good lesson in discipline. I bet they're not being told what we are told to do when we don't believe what we are being told to do with those awards. Wow, I rattled on there. Another one of the reasons I don't like officers, they give you instructions, and when it's wrong, they blame it on you. It's hard to swallow when you follow instructions, and the person who gave the instructions is wrong, and then they blame you. What a piece of shit. All right, end of entry. Remember, I'm a pissed off old E5. But some of what I just said was absolutely true and stayed this way from 2003 till I retired in 2016. And that is there were a lot of toxic leaders in the military who made stupid decisions and made stupid mistakes and then blamed everybody for them. I'm not even going to go into it. But in a couple of years, I'm going to be back in Iraq. Well, I'm going to be back every year for the next several years. But in a couple of years, I'm going to leave Fort Drum, and I'm going to go to Fort Hood, and I'm going to get a job working on a PSD for a brigade commander who showed me every day and every mission and every way what toxic leadership looked like. I never worked so hard to get rid of a job in my life, but we're not bunny trail. All right, so here we are. We have to rewrite all these freaking awards because they're battalion headquarters. Now track this. Battalion headquarters has decided that the mission that all these people are getting awards from didn't go the way the people who were at the mission wrote the award. So somebody doesn't like the narrative. And let me tell you what, that's pretty freaking normal. It's amazing how often mission parameters are changed on paper to make people hooah. Now, if you were ever in the military, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you weren't in the military, sorry, I can't explain it to you. I mean, I literally spent 5 weeks driving a 5-ton because an officer didn't do something right. And here I am again in another mission. And writing awards is a mission. Yes, I sound like a big baby, and that's okay. I'm telling you, this thing was screwed up because the people just wouldn't take responsibility for it. And trust me, these people I'm talking about ain't done screwing me yet. All right, 2200. How nice. It's Saddam's birthday. And the Saddam militants in the Ba'ath Party are attacking compounds all around the city. Okay, so you want to fight? I'm really ready tonight. Going to take all my anger out on these asses. End of entry. Now listen, those groups were jokes. That was like the U.S. Army or the U.S. Marine Corps versus the Boy Scouts, except they don't have any Boy Scouts. I mean, they come around and they make the briefings going out make it sound like World War III is busted loose in Mosul, and it's like 8 people come up against a compound. Really? You're going to bring 8 people against Bravo 3rd to 502nd Infantry, the freaking body snatchers? Welcome to a bag. 2310, next entry. A bullet passes within inches of my head. That was a rush. I remember that. Whoa. The artillery illumination we are calling for is firing in the wrong direction. So it doesn't give us any light. I got to stop right there. I can't tell. I mean, if you've been watching this, you know this is my second entry where they fired the wrong stuff. How hard is it? All right. Keep going. Continue the entry. It can't be that hard to fire a mortar right in the round in the right direction when you're in the same compound as you're fighting. Okay, stop. You understand what I'm telling you? We're in this big, massive compound. It's like this. It's huge. It's like Sam's, but like 5 Sam's inside a wall. Ish. Okay, the buildings aren't quite that big. And the mortars are over there in this one compound, and all they got to do is fire the loom up so it'll light up so we can see what we're fighting out on the streets trying to hit the compound. And they're firing it way over there. Okay, get back to the entry, right? So you call it in, you have it fly to the southeast, and they shoot to the northwest. Holy crap, this day of suck doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Maybe tomorrow will be a brighter day. End of entry for the 28th. So the 28th of April was a FUBAR day. 29 April. Radio Watch from 0506 wrote 9 letters while listening to the radio and mailing them out today. Oh, here we go again. Back to Battalion to do the awards. Again, it wasn't so bad this time. It only took 3 hours. 1300. They named our compound Camp Z. They say it's in honor of our dead Iraqi. We were burned, made jokes about Camp Z is dead. Just infantry humor. 1400. I decided to make a bed out of the shelves that are used to hold the crates of soap. To get myself off the floor feels a lot better getting a nap. 2000. Mail call. Fun to watch the guys get mail and hope that I do too. But as usual, none for me. It's still too soon. Maybe one more week or so. Who knows? Hopefully when my mail starts, it'll go crazy and I'll get a lot. No idea what tomorrow holds. Been told I'm going home no sooner than August. I'll believe it when I see it. Time for bed. So the 29th was just a day where we hung around the camp, redid some awards, and just did our thing. April 30th. So I'm saying we're going to go faster now. Radio Watch from 0445 to 10. Wrote a lot of letters, some rather long. Have a Radio Watch again tonight from 20 to 22 and tomorrow morning from 5 to 10. Well, it's all a good day. I've been really lazy today, writing and reading. We had lunch brought in from the city. Today, rearranged cell blocks F20 where I lived. Started reading another novel today. I went out with the first sergeant. We've seen smoke coming from buildings across the street from the camp. We saw several men run out of the building, armed with AKs, jumped into a white Jeep. They see us coming. They drive right at us. We open fire on the vehicle. Glass is going everywhere. Can see the men inside the vehicle getting it. They're turned and drive away. That is they also may swerve, turn, and hit a wall. Oh, they also swerve, turn, and hit a wall. One team runs in the truck, one team to the building, 2 more men run out. We caught one, dropped the other. Called the so-called fire department to get over here and put the building out. Turned out one was a prisoner of the battalion. 2,200, go to bed. So here we are in Camp Zed, and somebody decides to want to burn one of the buildings out. I got a great picture of the smoke. And then they decided, you know what, since we're coming, they're going to take us on. No, didn't work so well. You heard me put in the entry that cell block F20, they had these triple shelves going all the way up, okay? And they're yellow, and they have these big bins, and they're full of soap, and they're marked, like any kind of inventory system in a warehouse. And I slept at F20, so we had it all written down so you could find us when you needed us, and I just pushed the stupid bins off, right? Because I didn't want to sleep anymore. All right. Chapter 7, Mosul in May. Mosul in May. May 1st. Had radio watch from 05 to 9:30 today. Decided to only write my in-country friend. She has sent the only mail I've been receiving. Once I got off duty, I wasn't feeling good at all, so I took a nap. Got around 14:30. Not 100%, but I do feel better. Finished another book today, starting another one. Sometimes my reading feels more like studying, trying to learn all I can. Must go to battalion to write awards again today. Sometimes I think when I'm reading, I only have a junior high level knowledge. I need to fix this. Funny thing, I woke up and found the letter on my bunk from my in-country friend. She's coming to Mosul tomorrow. Fell asleep reading. So, end of entry. I literally read minimum 2 to 3 books a week after we got off the truck. More like 5 to 7 books. Because sometimes I'll be on radar watch for 5 hours, and I don't know about you, but I can eat a book up in 4 or 5 hours. And if I wasn't writing letters, that's exactly what I did. All right, May 2nd, radio watch. 9:15, 04 to 9:15, and 13 to 15, and 19 to 21. That'll make for a long day. Took advantage of the first 2 shifts, wrote 10 letters, even got a haircut and a shower in, end of entry. So I had radio watch this day for about 7 hours. It only took me maybe 2 hours to write those letters. The rest I was reading. Right, 1,600. I told the XO that my in-country friend was supposed to be at the BSA today. All of a sudden, I am taking a 5-ton, some forgotten truckers, by myself to the BSA. Never been there. It's a good challenge for the land nav skills. See if I'm as good as the truckers. Once there, global supplies. Go load the supplies and then take them to Camp Zed. Then return the 2 5-ton trucks to battalion. No problem. We got to the battalion talk after the BSA just fine and on time, and we were at the BSA for 3 hours. It was amazing, to say the least, to see my in-country friend. She told me she may be staying up here for a couple weeks at the battalion. I leave with XO and his party. I learned that the battalion PA is sending Big E home. That leaves me with as the last sergeant in the headquarters. End of entry. So when I'm talking about my in-country friend, it was a fellow NCO woman. And we had quite the good relationship. Now, my experience with the Forgotten Truckers has made it much easier for me to find my way around and understand how to do things. The VSA is a massive place, and it's pretty good. All right, here we go. 0100. First sergeant yells, "Wolf, let's go!" Nickname I picked up in the Army. It's tattooed on my arm. We hopped in the Hummer, went to the BSA again. We're supposed to pick up the company supply sergeant's real mess. First sergeant told me to go find something to do while he dealt with what he had going on. He said it'd be a couple hours. I went and visited my friend again. First sergeant sent for me, found out the supply sergeant's father has died from ALS, and another soldier's parents have died. So 3 of the body snatchers are going home. The headquarters platoon is getting small, and if it weren't for the fisters, I'd be alone. Back in bed at 0500. Well, all I can tell you about that day was it was sort of rough, and that those guys had to go home, and I got to spend a couple hours with my friend. And by the way, the showers at the BSA were a lot nicer, and so was the company. May 3rd, radio watch from 06 to 09, basically laid down and set right back up. Really don't have any grounds to complain. I did get to make 2 trips to the BSA yesterday. Found out we got satellite TV last night. I watched the news for a couple hours while I was sitting on radio watch. Nice to know what's going on in the world. The news is making a satellite. We are here for sound like we are here for a long time, which is no surprise. I'm having a really hard time not hating our interpreter. I know the dream stealer is working hard on me. He brought this interpreter in to attack my beliefs, but I will not give in, and I will not abuse this man for it. End of entry. So we're now starting to use interpreters. And in my 61 months, I had one I liked. Most of the time they were just people trying to survive. They were trying to survive. They were trying to deal with an invading army in their country, and they got to cover their faces and they got to try to hide who they are because they get killed for helping us. Right? Back to entries. Radio watch 14 to 16. All I can do is smile. It was a very good day yesterday. 2,200. So we're leaving at night. Patrol the farmers market was a good walk. We can see people watching us from the second and third floor windows, the balconies. That always makes me nervous. We get to the market and people running left and right. Big change from the way they acted just a week ago. Having learned of the Ba'ath Party is spreading rumors that we're here for the oil, but also spreading rumors of soldiers raping Iraqi women. Everybody knows this, and it's getting really bad here. And some of these kinds of rumors, seems like every time we turn around to go another direction, we get shot at. I'm not liking this place. We no longer allow to fire back. The ROE has changed, 2230 back in the compound, end of entry. They were spreading so much propaganda. I mean, here we are in October of 2020, and propaganda is on the news. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, not going to talk politics with you. But they're just saying crap. I mean, they're spreading rumors all over Mosul that we're out raping Iraqi women. What? Am I going to sit here and try to tell you it never happened? Well, I don't know. It never happened that I know of. But boy, do we hear it every day. The ROE changing drove me nuts. I mean, you sort of had to wait till they actually squoze the trigger. So great. Let me walk into a freaking ambush and not fire back until they fire. Next entry. When I got to my cot, I found a letter. I knew it was from her. A patrol had come to the camp while I was gone. She was a good person. May 4th. Radio watch 05 to 08. Then I lay down feeling sick. The days are getting hotter, and the nights are too. The mosquitoes are getting worse, and it's really bad in this area, probably due to the fact it's so dirty and it smells and it's nasty. And I feel dirty all the time. I want to scream. I smell 24/7. This war, peacekeeping is hell. There are 3 parts to it. 1, fighting no one. The fighting no one ever gets used to, and then you start to want more. 2, the dirt and the smell, being hot and cold, the mosquitoes, and the not knowing the language, rotten food, and did I say dirty? 3, no information from home. I have too much time on my hands, too much time. My mind torments me, drives me crazy. I learned that no man is more alone than when they're dealing with their own demons. 1320, radio watch from 1440. Holy shit, it's hot. Learned there's a sickness here called the black heart, which affects foreigners when they don't drink ample water, which means means forced hydration. If this is true, go ahead and order more body bags. We're going to change our ammo to non-lethal rubber bullets, so we're going to change the play bullets. Seems like the wrong direction to go. People are getting more and more hostile all the time. At this rate, people are going to die. End of story. We didn't actually change the rubber bullets. That was just a big threat. It was a big rumor, but it made me stupid crazy. It made me mad. I couldn't believe it was going to happen. I was like, there is no way. There is no way. We're out on patrol. We're walking around, and they've got posters nailed on telephone freaking poles that shows half of President Bush's face and half of Saddam's face saying same place, same stuff. I mean, it was like we were there, and we were allowed to do this much. We weren't allowed to protect people. I don't know if it's going to be in this book. I don't remember. I wrote it down. But I'm going to talk about it now, and if it is in the book later, then I apologize, and I'll just reread it. I watched people, women most of the time, in Mosul, Iraq, stand in line for hours to get their propane tanks filled so they could go home and cook. And some of these people would show up to get in line at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And they'd stand there all night and all morning. Because a lot of times these places wouldn't open till 10. Because, inshallah, whenever God wants it to open, it'll open. Because people don't. It's different. And I watched, as we had to guard one of these. And I watched a woman get upset because some tub of shit in a man dress, 400-pounder, walked in front of her because men have better rights. And she tapped him on the shoulder, hey, what are you doing? I've been here all night long. And he and his buddies beat the crap out of her. They almost beat her to death, and there was nothing I could do. Couldn't intervene. I had to stand there and watch this tub of shit beat on this woman because she touched him. Yeah, we really need to be over there fighting for him, don't we? All right, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. They don't celebrate that here for some reason. Today was a slow, except around 1300 battalion call for QRF. Changed down a green BMW suspected suspicious activity. So they went out by helicopter. That involved the BMW to a garage. QRF did find some things. Hold on. Stop the entry. A green BMW in Iraq is almost like the orange-white cabs. There's 10,000 of them. Right? Just crazy. All right, back to the entry. So the QRF goes out, and they're getting after these people. They tried to act like they'd done nothing, so they detained the driver and called it a day. I was on a radio watch when the mission was going on. I had one mic in one hand and a handheld radio. Looked like I was in a fight with an octopus. The end of entry. So it's our QRF. It's Bravo 3rd to 502nd's QRF. It's got to go out and deal with these people. And I'm trying to talk to the battalion in this hand, and I'm trying to talk to the unit in that hand. And same old stuff. Next entry. Had a meeting today with my new section, and I'm now the operations NGO. I'm spending a lot more time with the Fisters due to everybody else being gone now. Staff Sergeant Jackson and I are pretty good friends. I spend a lot of time talking about Hardee's, Davidson's, and places to ride. 4 of the forgotten truckers are in the camp. That's 8 of my fellow drivers hanging out here at Camp Zed. One of them brought me a letter from my friend. End of entry. Things are starting to get semi-routine in Mosul now. The forgotten truckers are in the Camp Zed a lot, daily, hanging out, doing their thing. My relationship with my in-country friend has gotten pretty well known, and so letters are coming back and forth, and not to mention time to get to see each other. And here I am. So remember, I'm a detail. I deployed from Fort Drum to Fort Bliss to Kuwait didn't link up with Bravo Company 3rd to 502nd until April, and went with them from Baghdad to Mosul. And due to injuries and other reasons, their entire headquarters platoon has left. So now the detail guy, I guess I shouldn't call myself that. I had orders in hand to 3rd to 502nd. But the guy who showed up late is now the headquarters section sergeant. So I have definitely become a part of the unit. And we're going to end this here. Because this isn't about anything more than wanting to stop 22. Listen, I had times in this mission. I mean, we're only talking 2 months here. March 19th, and we're only to May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, right? Which they don't celebrate in Iraq. Anyway, so we're talking 6 weeks, 7 weeks from home. And look at all the stuff that we've been through. Look at all the stuff that's been handled. Look at all the craziness, the fun, the dumb stuff, the being left alone on the side of the road, to finally being with the not the commandos, that's 10th Mountain. Finally being with 2nd Brigade of the 101st. And actually being part of a unit. And this ain't going to last much longer. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I am no longer in Iraq by May 31st. So in the next 25 days, a lot of things are going to change. And I may even skip a few days of the boring missions, if you will, to tell you about how we all got back together again, how we all went to Kuwait, and what happened from there. Because I never left the Middle East. I'm not going to spoil the soup for you, but I got out and I got back in because I never left. But I'm going to get hammered for it. Hammered for it. Anyway, but this is all making connections. Listen, come on here and tell your story. Come on here and rattle your sword, rant about something. Doesn't have to be negative. Doesn't have to be anything. Come on and tell your story, because all I'm trying to do is make connections and stop, prevent, put an end to. Get this 22 stopped. Listen, if you raised your right hand and you said, I do solemnly swear, I want you to stay here. Come on, I've had enough. I've had enough. We're here for you. Call me. Send me a message on freaking Facebook. Send me a message through my website, www.veteransrantrattleandroll.com, because you matter. You did something most people will never do in their entire life. You went in the military and you served, and that makes you an amazing human being. I want to hear your story. I want to share your story. I don't care what you come on here and share. Just come on here and share, because maybe you got something to say. Maybe you got something to tell other people that'll help them keep going and not become part of the 22. I have a daily podcast Monday through Friday called #AttitudeShield. Plug into that. Maybe that'll help. You know what? You want to come on here? You want to come on Veterans Rant, Rattle, and Roll, and you want to complain and tell me how bad the VA is? Come on. You want to come on here and tell us how bad and hard time you're having? Come on. Come talk to me. Let's talk it out right here on Veterans Rant, Rattle, and Roll, because this show is not about anything more than you and I connecting, making connections together. Damn it. I want you to stop. Walk away from the darkness. Don't give in, please. Brothers and sisters, don't give in. Please don't give in. We'll find a way. We'll do something. We'll figure something out. You served, you're an incredible person. There is no other way to say it. If you served, you're incredible, and I want you to keep serving. Sorry for the big rant at the end then, but I'm serious. Veteran suicide needs to stop. I care, and I know a lot of other people who care. So keep on hanging on with us, will you? Till the next time I see you. Keep your head up. You're not forgotten. Talk to us. I care. Keep on serving, please.